supremacists go in, butcher people, and they come out alive. That's an interesting fucking system.
They're carrying weapons. Like, during that New York scuffle, they were carrying weapons, and the cops didn't do anything. Like, how are you going to sit there and not act on it when you see that there's...
So, no bullshit, up in Portland, right, I went to a protest where it was discovered afterwards. So, at the protest, it was fucked up, right? A bunch of fucking racists showed up, and anti-fascist fucking Antifa fucking motherfuckers, like, we showed up deep to La Sierra del Paro. It was discovered afterward that the police had found a cache of like rifles on a rooftop that these motherfuckers were like trying to like nest in, and that was not released to the public in any way, shape, or fucking form. So like the degree to which they try to hide and, you know, in essence collaborate with these fucking fascists is disgusting, because who's gonna end up fucking getting shot? It's not them. It's never fucking them. Yeah.
It's crazy shit.
So Vice, fuck that guy McGinnis. Fucking him and McGregor.
I ain't never listened to that shit. I ain't watching that shit again.
Oh, subscribe from that shit, bitch.
Me too. No, it's free, remember?
No, but you can subscribe to it so you can keep seeing it in your feed.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Messed up. You know what? The only thing I liked was there was an article about transgender people and how they're discriminated. They're being discriminated by gay people too.
Yeah.
I was watching and I'm like, oh, I was reading an article. I'm like, oh my god, I almost broke down tears about this kid, a young guy, who likes boys, but he's a boy, but felt like a woman, so he acted very feminine. And he wrote in the article, he wrote it himself, and he said that a fucking gay guy goes, "Hey, you need to stop being a fag." A gay guy called him a fag, and I'm using the word, I'm sorry, and said, "You're making us look bad." The gay community frowned upon the fact that he was a guy acting girlish. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? And then he realized that he can never find love because there's always those closet, gay people. So every time they would only use him for sex. It was a very heartfelt article. I almost came to tears, and I told my wife about it. But by the time she wanted to read it, it was already out. Gone. But I almost broke down the tears. I was reading. I'm like, oh my god! Like I never realized that's what they go through.
Yeah, no. Like that's deep.
But other than that, Viceland, that's the only time I read it. But now that you're telling me that, I'm like, fuck Viceland.
Yeah, well,
besides that article,
you got to be careful with that shit, man. But like even that, so like going back to that.
Yeah.
To me, I had a huge problem with Caitlyn Jenner turning into a hero for like.
Even though she was a Trump supporter and
still
very like. But now she regrets like, oh, if I would have known that that's what he represented, I wouldn't have followed. What the fuck are you talking about? He's always represented that.
Fucking.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, absolutely. And then on top of that, to me, it's crazy that like she would get heralded as a fucking hero when there's transgender revolutionary heroes from Stonewall, right? Like, the yearly Pride March that happens. So that's to commemorate this riot that happened at Stonewall, where the LGBT community, in essence, fought back against the police who fucking were consistently harassing them. And that was, in essence, sort of like one of the big heroes of that was like transgender folks coming out and fucking throwing down with the fucking pigs. Like, those are real heroes. Not Caitlyn Jenner, this multi-millionaire fucking white person that can do whatever the fuck they want and get fucking like credited like they're the next fucking, like they're the second coming or whatever. It's like that's yeah.
Didn't she get like Time Magazine of the Year?
She got ESPN like fucking Athlete of the Year or something like that.
Something like that.
Or like even before that, like do you remember like so for a long time, LGBT folks had been like throwing down for like marriage equality amongst a bunch of other shit, right? Yeah. Like their quest for liberation, at least for the revolutionaries within the LGBT plus community, has always been more than just marriage equality. Like, a lot of them even fucking say like, why is marriage a fucking whatever? But so that's a struggle that's been going on for 30 fucking 40 fucking years, and it wasn't up until these rich white conservative queer folk got in on it and started like promoting it on Facebook with their little fucking like equal sign on fucking, that all of a sudden it had traction and it gets picked up by the mainstream. It has everything to do with the like racial and class politics of the fucking society. If it's brown and black transgender people, working class people, fuck them. They're evil. They're fighting against cops. Look at them. A bunch of fucking like rich white queers fucking get on and start saying not even the same revolution thing, but some watered down piece of shit, and those are the motherfucking heroes. Nah, fuck them. Fuck each and every single one of them. Nah. Just like I get fucking... I kind of got pissed. I just recently read that organizers in Mexico showed a free screening of Coco to a bunch of the caravan people. And like when you look at Coco, that's a movie about borders and reifying borders and why they're important and why they're necessary. Even amongst, like that's some shit that like brown children are being black and brown children are being fucking like socialized into. So why the fuck would you in essence show this kind of pro border fucking movie to people who are defying the fucking state, who are defying nationalism, who are defying the border? Like, it's ridiculous. It's crazy to me.
It's because it's a kid movie.
Yeah.
It's a kid movie. They can get away with it.
That's how you brainwash
kids.
the next generation.
Yeah. It's a kid movie.
That's
it's
how you
made
do
by
it.
Disney, franchises out to the kids. And the parents put it out and will go and buy tickets when
Because some parents don't know any better.
Come on. If you see it, if you see certain things, you're like, come on. Like,
I know, but some parents, some adults don't know any better.
True.
Thank you. Exactly.
They dumb themselves because they don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Mr. J has a big heart. Like, I just realized you're always finding ways to...
It gives people the benefit of the doubt on a lot of things.
You know what?
On too many things.
You're right. You know what? You're right. Because I had a ride-along at work. I felt bad for the guy. So the guy's an Uber driver, but he got a degree in teaching.
Yeah.
But he'd rather Uber drive. Good worker, but the only thing is, like, dude, you got a degree. You could teach anywhere in the world. You could probably teach, but you refuse to be a teacher. You'd rather be an Uber driver. So I'm like, okay, that was my only reservation. So they brought me into the office, and what'd you think of the guy? I felt so bad. Like, if I say anything bad, I could cost this guy getting a job here. If I say something good and he sucks, then
it'll look bad on you.
So I'm like in the middle, I'm like teetering where like, oh, I like this and this and that, but this and that kind of got me off. So like, oh, so you don't like him? Like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm just saying he's a good worker. He seems like he'll be a good worker, but this kind of got me off. So you don't think he'll be good? Like, bitch, like, what the fuck are you trying to? You're trying to get me to say yes or no, and it goes to the fact I have a big heart. So I don't like vouching for people. I rarely vouch for anybody. Rarely. If you hear me vouch for somebody, it's because I'm committed to that person. Like when you wanted to see if you wanted to
different
see
avenues of work.
Yeah. And I wanted to. I said, I'll vouch for you. Oh, fuck it. I'll vouch for you in my job. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll vouch for you because I believe in you. I had to be a big heart and be like, you know what? No, I vouch for you. It took a lot for me to vouch for somebody that I had doubts on. So here, I feel in this show, TTV Chubs, Escaleto have their points of view. I always feel like I have to have that counter part. So if you listen to early episodes when the hashtag me, because the funny thing is, this show started when if you notice, the hashtag Me Too movement uproared. So you had to be defending the Harvey Weinsteins, the Kevin Spaceys. Gotta give them the benefit of the fucking doubt. I was a bit advocate for fucking Bill Cosby. Sorry, when you had 100 fucking plus women accusing him of rape, I was the first one that said, is it really 100 or is it really just 5? And the rest of these bitches are just money hungry fame bitches that want to just get their name on the fucking papers. I was the first one to say that.
Yeah.
TTB Chubbs?
I remember, yeah.
Okay. Harvey Weinstein. I said, okay, he jacked off on a fucking brand. He used his power. But how many of these bitches got famous and didn't say shit until it got exposed? I always have to give the benefit of the doubt, and I have to have the big heart for these people, even though I shouldn't have.
Well, so
that's just my character.
There's a difference between having the big heart and being skeptical.
I'm skeptical.
Right? Like, so like, to me, you vouching for a worker, I mean, if somebody's going in this country, like, in other countries, teachers are some of the highest paid fucking people.
I agree with you.
In this country, teachers are paid garbage. So if somebody actually went into teaching, that means that they were trying to do some good.
Well, look at the, I don't know if you heard the news. This happened this week. They're closing a school down in Pasadena. This is their last year. Their budgets are at all-time low. They're closing down the school.
Holy shit!
In South Pasadena, a school's closing down because of the budget cuts. Just to give you that impression.
Holy fuck!
Yeah. So I agree with you. In other countries, teachers are looked on upon. You're a teacher. Oh shit, you're something big. Here is oh, you're a teacher. Oh, I'm sorry. You probably work summertime at Dodger Stadium selling peanuts.
Okay. Well, so you vouching for that kind of worker? I think that's completely different than you vouching for, like, I don't know, rich white fools accused of fucking rape. Like, that to me is like fucking. I mean, right? Because especially when it comes to shit like that, it's about power, right? If you're dealing with people of like equal standing, right? Like, that's one thing. But when so many people are coming out and accusing people of someone in power who literally determines whether or not you work in that industry, whether or not you get to fucking feed your family, put fucking, you know, a roof overhead, there's a power element to that requires the same kind of skepticism, but maybe in the other way, to be like,
stop here, Chubs. You want to put a pass on your car right now? Okay, it's almost gonna be 10. It's on the table. You want to go put it right now?
Yeah.
I'll keep talking to him.
No, yeah, that's fine.
All right. So you're saying what I did was good then?
So I'm saying that skepticism is always good.
Yeah.
It's always good. But being big-hearted and giving people breaks or the benefit of the doubt when systemically they've been getting away with fucking murder because they're supposed to be getting the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Like that's a different thing. Yeah. But skepticism's good.
With Harvey Weinstein, it was like
don't even believe the shit I'm telling you.
No.
Like, this is all just like a fucking launching pad for fucking future thought and investigation.
Of course, I believe you. So I was saying, I think Bill Cosby was the biggest one. I said 100 plus women came out. How many of them were really raped? I always said that was always my question. How many were really raped? How many of them did he really offer coffee to, and how many did he offer spiked coffee to? Like, perfect, I use the example of, let's just say I invited you, come over, and I gave you coffee, and you had chorro. But then you found out I raped women, and my allure to them was, my fucking go-to was coffee. And you were like, oh, you know what? That day I went with Jay, the motherfucker gave me coffee, but you know what? My body was so immune to what the fuck he gave me, it just gave me chorro. How about with the fact that I didn't find you attractive, and I actually gave you coffee? I didn't try to rape you that day. But today's society, today's fucking media, they'll buy your story and be like, you know what? Back in the day, when I used to come to the podcast, he would offer me coffee. I'd feel sick. I honestly think he tried to rape me, but my body was immune to what the fuck he was doing. So that was always my just cause. Do you really? So in the history books will write Bill Cosby as the biggest serial rapist in American history.
Which you know what? I've been thinking about that.
Come on, really? The biggest serial rapist in American history?
I can't imagine him being a bigger rapist than the slave owners.
Thank you. Whether it be slave owners, come on. They are the history books. When me and you are buried or burned to ashes, whatever the fuck we decide to do, they're gonna paint this man to our kids and kids as the biggest serial rapist in Hollywood. Is that really legit though?
So
that was always my thing, and I always had to apologize, be like, look, I don't condone what he did, but let's be realistic. Did he really do all that shit that we're saying he did?
So I'm a fan of the skepticism. In this case though,
yeah,
to me, you have to be careful with that, right? Because even if you only did it to one person and everybody else is signing up to it, like, at that point, it's like these like sophisticated Holocaust deniers who are like, they didn't kill 6 million Jews. It was like 1.5 million, if that.
He still killed Jews, though.
Yeah.
No. I still say he still raped women, but let's not exaggerate the number, though. Come on, you're gonna make him. You're telling me he's the biggest serial rapist in American history? Come on, really?
I mean, I don't think he'd be more. I don't think he'd be a bigger serial rapist than any of the fucking presidents who owned slaves. However, he still deserves to be called a rapist.
Oh, you know,
and he still deserves the fucking
agree.
every fucking thing.
I agree